I knew before he came up I had to call him well-spoken because I knew he was going to put me to shame. So I had to quickly acknowledge that before he even came up here. Thank you very much, Kenneth. I only see Sterling Cunio in the evenings during the college program, and he always pops his head in and gives me some good advice. So I'd like to welcome Sterling Cunio to the stage. Sterling Cunio is our Associate of Arts transfer degree graduate. I got the other one too, man. You want to tell me or me tell me? You got it?
In full transparency, I must admit I'm a little panicky right now because Heidi already said half of my speech and Ken said the other half. But I worked 3.5 years to be here today, so y'all just gonna hear it again. There is much that can be said about our college experience behind these walls. It has not been typical. How many other college students have ever had to explain to their teacher how they lost their homework in a riot? Or had to write a 15-page research paper on the science of cloning without the use of the internet or even a library? Our biology labs consisted of analyzing the organisms in our water collected from the drinking faucets. Some of the organisms, even our biology professor couldn't identify. How many other college graduates have ever had to take a test on humanities while choking on mace sprayed down the hall? It's not been typical. While we frequently hear about the data that confirms college education as the most effective means of reducing recidivism, we rarely hear about the journeys of prisoners who pursue college education as an act of self-improvement. So I decided I'm gonna speak briefly on them journeys in honor of those who took them before us, in honor of those who took them with us, and those that's gonna come after us, as well as in honor of those who taught us, believed in us, and especially those who never scorned us for our failings, but encouraged us to remain focused on a bigger picture. Poet Crash McMillan once wrote that at times, the road will get dark. Many of us know what dark roads look like. We did not arrive here today from positions of great ease or privilege. For many of us, our roads have been slippery, rocky, and even harmful. We didn't come from backgrounds that most of us didn't come from backgrounds to where we made all the right decisions. Indeed, a lot of our backgrounds include poverty, addiction, criminality, violence, disruption of family, destruction. We are those who know struggle. We know the struggle of those who are responsible for things falling apart. We know the struggles of those who have to sit in the shards of good things shattered by our own actions, and then have to struggle for a sense of self-worth, not crushed by guilt. We are those who know the struggles of relationships, burdened by our absence, of families missing our productivity. We are those that know the struggles of those without a voice and little advocacy. We are those who know the struggles of those who must dream in order to defeat despair and find purpose in chains. We are those who know the struggles of those who hit bottom before they decide to look up. But we are also those who know that things can get better. We know that things can get better when we commit ourselves to the pursuit of improvement. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, concentration camp and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl wrote that when we no longer change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. All of us here today accepted that challenge. And in our commitment to change ourselves, we realized that we had to travel different paths. In search of new directions, one of the things that we did was enroll in college. Prior to enrolling in college, I used to believe that you had to be a genius to get a degree. Then I met some people that forced me to reevaluate that prior assumption. They were not extraordinarily gifted, but they had really good work ethics. They didn't dream of math formulas, but they knew how to study and seek help for things that they didn't understand. They did not have the world handed to them, but decided to acquire the skills and qualifications necessary to open doors. And those that inspired me most were the ones in the world that are incredibly successful now with their degrees, but were once in the exact same position as us, incarcerated, yet determined to still make something of our lives and help others. Education for the prisoner, it is restorative, it is transformative, it is empowering. It provides the opportunity to regain respectability and dilute stigma. Education is empowering because the process of identifying long-term academic goals and making choices each and every day that moves us to the fulfillment of that objectives develops a self-efficacy in which we know that the things we want to achieve become possible. In honor of those who came before us and set good examples, I encourage us who are graduating today to continue to set good examples. And this is the heart of my message, man, to my peers, to my friends, to my fellow students. Some of us, we don't get to move no further than this. This is where we have to do our good. While some of us can move on to better things. You can access universities and become ambassadors of both struggle and redemption. I encourage us to keep setting good examples, to make learning a lifelong process, and to become a light for those who may still travel dark roads. As transformative as the education is for the individual, it's not possible without the collective effort of many. So I'm going to echo the sentiments of gratitude to the educators, to the teachers that put up with us. Every single one of them guys over there are difficult students. To the educators, man, that take their time and teach us with care. Some educators have showed us, man, above and beyond to believe in us at times, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. I want to thank the administrators, honestly, for their willingness to allow access and support and security for these programs and these programs that make such a difference to exist and really let that opportunity be inside of these walls for us. To our donors, I mean, without the money, none of it would be possible. So we need some more money too, by the way. just putting it out there. Sincerely, genuinely, we thank you all. And I hope that in our success, you're capable of finding some reassurance that the work you do makes a difference. Finally, in closing, I leave you with the words of Nelson Mandela, who said, Education is the most powerful tool to change the world. Thank you.